Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board, Dr. Garrettson. This is Bruce Paterson Garwood. I'm going to visit a past issue I've mentioned a couple of times. He said I really had no facts at any of my allegations, and today I'll provide some information. And of course, I'll use the word allege, for all of this. Timeline: January 8th, 2017, Field Strategies LLC Incorporated, but it wasn't in New Jersey. And I'll get to why I mentioned that company. July 7th, 2020, MV Strategies incorporates in New Jersey. The main office is in Washington, D.C. A Megan Brown is the only employee. August 13, 2020, Union County gives MV Strategies CARES Act contract for COVID survey work, $750,000. Exhibit 1 lists 9 action items for them to do, listed as community outreach. August 26th, 2020, a press release is put out by Union County. This notes a door-to-door COVID program with a 7-question questionnaire for those who received COVID tests at the county drive-in. The rest is during this year. February 28th, Oprah by the public for CARES Act expenditure list. MV Strategies is listed on there, 9 checks for $83,000 each, described as freeholder COVID expenses. 9 freeholders, 9 checks, could just be a coincidence. March 21st, we Oprah the PO, invoice, and checks to MV Strategies, received documents that MV Strategies was indeed paid CARES Act monies, $750,000. March 24th, the first commissioner meeting, I brought up issues regarding $750,000 in freeholder expenses listed on CARES expenditure list, and Rebecca Williams called it scurrilous accusations. March 28th, we Oprah for MV Strategies contract and amendments. Contract Exhibit 1 lists the 9 items MV has to do for the contract. March 28th, we Oprah emails between county and MV Strategies. And this is where we find Elena Estrin of Field Strategies is picking up the checks from the county. March 29th, we Oprah 4 items listed under paragraph B, Exhibit 1 of MV contract, identified as deliverables. Never received anything. April 11th, we Oprah for MV Strategies summary of results from their contract work. Never received anything. April 11th, we Oprah for the 7-question survey document from the Union County press release. Never received it. April 26th, we did receive a 3-page document listing 4 questions, poorly written. Only one specific question really was about health and food insecurity. This may be in response to part of the Oprah on MV Strategies. We can't really determine what that is. In it, it notes the resident would get an email, but however, what happens if they don't have a computer? April 28th, the second commissioner meeting, I brought up issues of MV Strategies, lack of documentation, and freeholder expense designation. 5 of 8 commissioners went ballistic in denial, and I asked back then if they have any proof otherwise. April 29th, we do 5 Oprahs for the 9 items listed in MV Strategies contract Exhibit 1, such as deliverables, daily reports, flyers, etc. All stuff that should already be on the county computer. Never received anything. So here we are. And this all could be mitigated if that today actually shows some proof otherwise that something was done, which we have given you 1 month to look it up and produce it for the public. $750,000 was given to NV Strategies that only has 1 employee. This employee, Megan Brown, is linked to a political activist site which fought against Trump during the election in 2020, and is also linked to GOTV activities. MV Strategies laundered money to Field Strategies, a third party. This company calls itself a political organization involved in GOTV activities also. When money disappears into third-party pockets, no tracing can be done after that by the public. Over 1.5 months and 8 Oprah requests for MV Strategies work product per the contract yielded no results. And the conclusion is $750,000 in federal money disappeared with nothing to show for it. The only description for it listed in the CARES Act expenditure list is freeholder expenses, which brings up some serious suspicions of where the laundered money went. All this documentation we plan to forward to the U.S. Attorney's Office. One last item from last meeting.
Your time is up, Mr. Patterson. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
And to what I term scurrilous, I would add irresponsible and offensive. And these, this idea of money laundering, I didn't hear alleged in front of that. But I'm going to ask the county manager to please make a couple of comments on MV Strategies and the work that the county did with our partners during this pandemic.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to talk
And
a
that continues on. Thank you.
just to talk a little bit about MV Strategies. I know the Mr. Paterson referred to our COVID response last time as frivolous, but we'll keep moving on that. You're questioning if the state used MV Strategies. Just sitting here on my phone, if you Google the state's COVID response field program, there's an article from 6/7/2021 in the Press of Atlantic City. Also, Camden County used this company. If you want to go to camdenhealth.org, you get a little information. Gloucester County, Hudson County, Burlington County, Middlesex County, City of West New York. A lot of places use this company. Saying they laundered money, that might be a little slanderous. The attorneys will probably be reaching out to you. As for your Oprahs, it's hard to keep track with all your Oprahs, but the daily reports, so you asked for proof to show me one piece of paper, here you go. This is one of the daily reports. If you Oprah the right material, Mr. Paterson, you get the result. We can't help the fact your Oprah is a boondoggle. Your time's up, thank you.
All right. Let's see. Oh, Vice Chair Hudak.
Yeah, no, Chair, I just wanted to point out, the speaker took issue with you calling him out regard to his comments and seemed to hedge and waffle as to the statements that he made, but I'd like to read them back to him. That the company actually, quote, the company actually forwarded to each of the commissioners $83,000 each, totaling $750,000 using the Federal CARES Act funding. Those were your specific words of alleged wrongdoing, which you cannot defend or prove because it did not happen. So don't come up here and waffle and say, oh, I think it should be looked into. No, no, no. You said the money was getting. You're full of crap.
Okay, Mr. Patterson, if you speak again, we'll have to ask you to leave. Thank you. Okay, the floor is still open for any other. Oh, Commissioner Granados.
Thank you, Chair. Just in reference to members of the public making statements about myself lying when it comes to MV Strategies and the comments about the state using them. As you can basically see, based off what the county manager's response was, that not only state, other entities across the state of New Jersey have also used MV Strategies. But once again, I'll state once again, Mr. Patterson, do your due diligence, check your work before you make a statement. Only thing I'm gonna say. And once again, hold on, and once again, when you come up here and make a comment about money laundering, okay, that's an issue for everyone. Just do your work, that's it. Have a nice night, Mr. Patterson. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the bag also.
You might want to get your coat.
County Manager,
You might want to get your coat.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm here for you. I just want to congratulate you, though. You can call the Attorney General. All you're doing is wasting government time and resources.
And money.
For.
Okay.
Have
All
a
right.
Good night.
If there are there any other speakers? Okay. Seeing no other speakers, I will close the